What is up, you guys? It is Center45 here, and welcome to the very first video of my channel. And showcasing you guys my Dark Magician deck profile. So yeah, guys, it's gonna be the first video on my channel. I have yet to decide what I'm gonna be, doing on this channel and everything. But I hope you guys will enjoy seeing where this channel takes us, and I really hope that you guys do enjoy this deck profile that I'm doing. So it's gonna be for Dark Magician, obviously, as you can tell in the title below you. And I'm gonna be showcasing you guys what the deck is composed of, a few test scans here and there, and some other things that you guys might want to know if you're interested in playing this deck. Some things I want you guys to keep in mind while I am showcasing you this is a few things. Well, actually three things. One, I am gonna be basing this build off of some OCG cards that I am using that are banned for the TCG. So in case you guys see some OCG stuff that are banned, you'll know why. That's something I want you guys to prepare for, I mean. And two, I am going to be actually using some OCG cards on top of the cards that I already have here, so that's another thing. And three, some of the cards that I do have here are actually going to be fake, because I can't afford some of the real versions of these cards because I don't have enough money to buy them. But if you guys are all okay with that, then this shouldn't be a problem for you to watch, and I hope you guys do enjoy. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into the deck profile. So yeah, guys, I'm going to be starting off with the main deck here, and this is a 40 card deck, obviously. And we're going to start off with the monsters, and obviously the first monster that we have today is going to be the Man of the Hour itself, 3 Dark Magicians. So obviously this is the namesake of the deck. You guys do want to see him in your opening hand as much as possible. You're going to be summoning him a lot. You're going to be summoning him from the grave, from your hand, going back and forth, and he's going to be all over the place when you need to, do your disruptions and stuff. And as you guys can see, I have 3 different artworks, and yet among all of them, only this one is actually real. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, 3 Dark Magicians, obviously, staple of the deck. Then next, for your searcher of the deck, I am running 3 Magician's Rod. So obviously this is going to be your searcher of the deck. So his effect reads, when he's normal summoned, you get to search a Dark Magician spell or trap from your deck and add it to your hand. And then its graveyard effect, which not a lot of players remember sometimes, is if during your opponent's turn, if you activate a spell or trap, except during the damage step, you get to tribute one of your spellcasters as a cost, and then add this card back to your hand. So he's really good for recycling when you need to start searching again if ever you lose some of your combo pieces. And yeah, overall he's just a really good searcher. He's there to get your combo starting, and yeah, he's a very crucial part of your deck if you want to start start off your place well. And then next, we have 2 Apprentice Illusions Magicians, I mean. And yeah, basically she's just your mini Honest of the deck, and she's here mostly here just to really see our Dark Magician in your first opening hand here really quickly, because her effect means when you get to special summon her by discarding a card from your hand, and then you get to add 1 Dark Magician from your deck to your hand. And then it's mini Honest effect that some players forget about sometimes is this: if she's in your hand or if she's on the field, if one of your dark spellcasters battle during damage calculation, you get to tribute her or discard her from your hand to have your dark spellcaster gain 2000 attack until the end of damage calculation. And yeah, she's just really good for protecting some of your cards, and she's actually going to be really good for protecting one of the other monsters that I have here to help keep your plays going. And yeah, I just kept her at 2 because she can be a little bit bricky at 3. But yeah, that's why she's here. Then next, I am running 1 Dark Magician Girl. So yes, I am running the Dark Magician Girl engine with stuff like Bond, Between Teacher and Student, and Dark Ready Magic, which I will be showing you guys later on and how to come off with them later. But yeah, she's basically here just to to have more disruptions into your deck and get them out faster and everything. And yeah, that's why she's here. Then next, I am running also 1 magician of Dark Illusion. So basically, he's just your regular um, extender of the deck in case you can't see Dark Magician, because his effect reads itself. This card is always treated as Dark Magician while he's on the field, so he does synergize really well with your other cards like Dark Magical Circle, for example. And his effect, basically the way you summon him is if you activate a spell or trap during your opponent's turn, except during damage step, you get to special summon him from your hand. And his other effect that doesn't really come up a lot but could be useful in late game is if you activate a spell or trap while he is on the field, then you get to special summon a Dark Magician from your graveyard to the field. And yeah, sometimes that's just really good if you really need that extra disruption for later on. But that effect doesn't really come up as often, but it's just there when you need it. And yeah, I have considered cutting him a few times, but I just really felt like I might need something like him if I don't get to see Dark Magician right away. And I obviously kept him at 1 because he can be a little bit bricky if you open up multiples of him. So that's why I just kept it here at once, because I don't really need to see him often. And that's it for the Dark Magician stuff. Then next for the more generic stuff, I am running one Spellbook Magician of Prophecy, or Blue Boy. And he's just here for draw power. He's here to search out, Spellbook of Secrets, Spellbook of Knowledge to give you the extra draw power. He's also really good for baiting stuff out when you need it. And yeah, that's just why he's here. And next, for the cool tech card that some people are running, I'm running one Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer. So he is here just for your graveyard-centric matchups here against stuff like Orcus or Salamangreat, or like even Thunder Dragon to an extent. And yeah, he is really good in locking out the graveyard because his effect reads is when this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you get to target up to 2 monsters in their graveyard, banish those targets, and your opponent also cannot banish cards from either player's graveyard. So he's really good in protecting your graveyard and also with stopping them from making their plays in their graveyard. So with things like Orcus, they can banish stuff like Harpor or Nightmare or Symbol Skeleton, and against Salamangreat, they can't activate. They can't banish Spinny from the grave or do anything like that. So he's just really good for locking out the grave when you need him to. And yeah, it's definitely just metagame. It's metagame specific here, but in terms of the way the meta is structured right now, in this current format at the time of recording this video, it is really good. And he's also really good at protecting. As long as you have something like Apprentice Illusion Magician in your hand, he's really good for protecting him, so that you can make sure that his plays go through. And yeah, that's just why he's here. And lastly, for the last two monsters, I am running 2 Effect Veiler here, and she's just here for extra disruption. And because I kind of considered using Veiler over Ash because she just synergizes really well with the rest of the deck because she's a spellcaster as well. And yeah, and she's not a hard wins per turn, so she's really good for protecting your plays. And yeah, that's just why she's here. And that is it for the monsters. Now we're gonna go ahead and get into the spells. For the first spell that I'm running, I am running 3 Dark Magical Circle. So yeah, this is one of your main disruptions on the deck, Search of Alpha Rod and everything else. And its effect reads, when you activate this card, you get to look at the top 3 cards of your deck and add 1 Dark Magician or 1 Dark Magician spell or trap from your deck to your hand, and organize the rest of the cards in any order. But its more important effect that helps keep your disruptions going is that if you normal or special summon Dark Magician, so whether it's the vanilla Dark Magician or the other one like the Magician of Dark Illusion, you get to target up to 1 card on the field and banish it. And obviously that hurts a lot of decks in some cases because not a lot of decks can recover from having their cards banished, with a few exceptions here and there. But yeah, that's one of your main disruptions of the deck, and you want to see this in your opening hand as much as possible, so that's why it's here. And then next, I am running 2 Eye of Timaeus. So yeah, I am running a fusion build of the deck, and hence why I'm running also Dark Magician Girl. He's just here to substitute for your fusion plays and keep your plays going as you want to build your board. And he's also really good for getting out stuff like Dark Magician the Dragon Knight, which can help protect your back row here, which I'll be explaining more in depth later on as we progress further. But yeah, he's just here for your fusion plays. I just wish he was searchable, but oh well. Then next, I am running 2 Bond between teacher and student. So yeah, this is your main source of trying to get Dark Magician Girl out on the field, and this card is searchable off of Rod, and its effect also reads is if you control a Dark Magician, you get to special summon 1 Dark Magician Girl from your hand, deck, or grave. Then you get to set 1 Dark Magic attack, Dark Burning attack, Dark Burning Magic, or Dark Magic Twin Burst from your deck to the spell and trap zone. And you can only activate 1 of this card once per turn. And then yeah, so basically what you're mostly setting off of this card is just Dark Burning Magic, which I will explain in depth later on as we progress further. But yeah, this is just your main way for getting Dark Magician Girl on the field and get your additional disruptions out. And I just felt like keeping it at 2 because I felt like I really didn't need to see this here as often, because if one dies out or something, I at least have another extra just in case. So that's why it's here. Then next, I am running 1 Illusion Magic. So yeah, this is just also a good extender of your deck for getting a Dark Magician out on the field, well, out into your hand right away. So you can use this on something like a Veiler if worse comes to worse, and you can even use this on something like Rod for chain blocking, because like say for example you summon Rod and they try to Ash you or Veiler you or Imperm you or something, you can activate this, tribute Rod, and then as the chain resolves, you get to actually add the 2 Dark Magicians to your hand, and then as well get the search that you need to get your combo pieces going. And since the target won't be on the field anymore, that's how you're going to be able to chain block a lot of things with a card like this, which is why I almost considered running it at 2, but I kind of felt like it would be a bit awkward to see at 2, so that's why I just kept it at 1. And yeah, that's why it's here. And next, I am running 1 Dark Magic Veil, so this is also just like good for baiting out stuff, and this is also good for special summon Dark Magician where you have no other ways to get it on the field. So yep, that's why it's here. Then next, I am running 1 Dark Magic Attack, which is searchable off of cards like Eternal Soul, and this is basically your Harpy's Feather Duster of the deck as long as you have Dark Magician on the field. And it's also really good for baiting, and it's a big blowout against decks like Skystrike or anything back row heavy in general, like Altergeist or anything else. So yep, good back row removal. Then next, I am running 1 Dark Burning Magic. So yeah, this is a really important card that helps keep your plays going as well. So basically, if you control Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl on the field, which have to be the original names, in case you guys didn't know, then you get to destroy all cards on your opponent's field. So basically, this is just like a Harpy's Feather Duster and a Raigeki on drugs, basically. And this is really good for big board wipes when you need it the most. And it's also really good for baiting out stuff as well when you really need to. And yep, this is just a good one-up in the deck because I don't really need that many. Then next, I am running also 1 Dark Magic Inheritance. This is really good as well, just as a little tech, well, not really tech, but something that you might need in case you don't get to see your other combo plays off. And getting 2 spells in the grave to activate this isn't as hard as some people may think. So if you can resolve this and get what you need, then it can help you keep your plays going and search for your missing combo pieces. And I have also considered cutting this as well, but I kind of felt like I might need it just in case, so that's why I kept it here. Then next, for the generic spells, I am running 2 Spellbook of Knowledge. So yeah, just for good draw power, searchable off of Blue Boy, and it's just here to bait out stuff as well, because if you can activate something else before activating this after you resolve Blue Boy's effect, then you can just bait out this and then keep it going, keep your place going, and like just get your extra draw power to hopefully see the cards you need. And I just kept it at 2 because I am following the OCG list, so that's why I kept it at 2. And next, I am running 2 Super Polymerization. So yep, big blow on the deck. any rogue that can benefit from this here in general, and you know, good for keeping your plays going, and also really good when you need to get rid of big threats on the board. So that's why it's here. Wish it was at 3, but oh well. And next, for the last spell, I am running 3 Call by the Grave. So obviously we need this here to keep our, you know, combos going and keep our plays from being disrupted. And we need this to avoid stuff like Ash or whatever. So that's why it's here. And it's very important that we do get to resolve our combos. So that's why we have to keep it here. And that is it for the spells. And next, we're next for the traps. I am running a few traps here, but not that many, because this is not a trap-based heavy deck. But the first trap that we're running, it's gonna be a 3 Eternal Soul. So yeah, this is also your main disruption on the deck as well, to keep your plays going on top of circles. So this helps you protect all your Dark Magicians on the field from your opponent's card effects. So with stuff like Super Poly in our meta, or like Imperm or whatever, your Dark Magicians are going to be protecting from everything. And then this also lets you special summon Dark Magician from your hand or your grave. So this just keeps your plays going, and then once you special summon Dark Magician on the field with this, with Circle on the field, then it helps keeps your plays going through, and it helps keeps you keep getting that additional disruption. And this is also the card that helps you search out stuff like Dark Magic Attack, which you can use for like later plays and stuff like that. And yep, that's why it's here. Best and worst card of the deck, because if it blows up, then you can't do anything, and yeah, that's why it's, you know, there. And next, I am running 3 Magician's Navigation. So yeah, this is also your other way of disrupting your opponent. This basically lets you special summon Dark Magician from your hand, and then one level 7 or lower Dark Spellcaster from the grave, from your deck to the field. And its additional effect as well is if your opponent activates a spell or trap while this card is in the grave, except the turn that it was sent to the grave, then you get to banish this from your graveyard to negate the spell or the trap. And yeah, this card is just really good for getting out stuff that you need. Like, you can get out Apprentice with this to get the other Dark Magician you might need, or you can use this to get out something like Kaiku to already start locking your opponent out of the grave. And yeah, this is just good for disruption, and yep, that's why it's here. And lastly, just as a cute tech card that I'm running in the deck just temporarily, that's obviously very interchangeable, is Magician's Defense. So yeah, this is the card that lets you half the damage that you take, whether it's battle damage or effect damage. And this also, when this leaves the field as well and goes to the grave, it lets you special summon a Dark Spellcaster, well, a Spellcaster, I mean, from your graveyard to the field. So this is also obviously a really cute extender to help keep your disruptions going, so you can summon stuff out of the grave like Dark Magician from the grave, or even something like Apprentice to get the Dark Magician you might need, or anything else in general. And yeah, this is obviously interchangeable. You can change this to whatever you want, but I'm just keeping it here as a really cute tech. And that is it, guys, for the main deck. Now we'll go ahead and go into the extra deck. So for the Dark Magician related stuff, for our fusions, we're running 1 Dark Magician the Dragon Knight, 1 Amulet Dragon, and 1 Dark Magician Girl the Dragon Knight. So Dark Magician the Dragon Knight is really good for protecting your back row, and it in turn with something like Eternal Soul, this is also really good for Eternal Soul to protect your back row as well, because this card is also treated as Dark Magician while it's on the field. And yeah, you could just keep reviving it back if you need to, if ever it dies. Then Amulet Dragon is just here for your Sky Striker or spell heavy matchups here, because you get to banish all spells from the grave, whether it's yours or your opponent's, minimum of 1 of each. And then it gains 100 attack for each spell that you banish. And then it also has a really good floating effect, where if it dies, you get to special summon a spellcaster, I believe. Yes, 1 spellcaster from the grave, and then just get it back on the field. And Dark Magician Girl is just here for just popping stuff from the field when you really need to, and also for baiting out some negates and stuff. And yeah, that's for my Dark Magician related fusions. Then next for our Super Poly targets, we are running one Starving Venom Fusion Dragon and one Mud Dragon of the Swamp. So they're just here for regular Super Poly targets that are basically staples everywhere. So yeah, that's why it's here. Then next for Xyz, I'm only running 3 Xyz. I'm running one Ebon Illusion, one Big Eye, and one Galaxy Tomahawk. So yeah, this is one of the banned cards that I'm running here that that I put here in the deck because I'm just following OCG. Ebon Illusion is really good if you really need that third Dark Magician out on the field, and it's also really good as well when you're spellcaster battles, because if you battle with something like Dark Magician while this card is on the field, you get to target one card on the field as well and manage it. And Big Eye's just here for stealing your opponent's monsters, and Galaxy Tomahawk is just here for tokens and for going into your link plays later on. And yep, those are the only Xyz I'm running. Then lastly for our links, not that many links I'm running. I'm running one BLS, one Borosword, and one Linkuriboh. So BLS is obviously here because it synergizes really well because you're running a lot of level 7 or higher monsters in the field, so good for protection, good for board wipes or whatever you may need, depending on your matchup. Then Borosword is here for ending games, obviously. And Linkuriboh is just here if worse comes to worse and you open up with a really bad hand, you can just use this summon Veiler and then like go into this. If you don't have illusion magic in your hand, just protect yourself. And yeah, that's it for the links, and that is really it, guys. That is my Dark Magician deck profile. So yeah, I'm not running the new support just yet because I have yet to get it here, but I'm definitely going to be updating this pretty soon as I get the complete new support that I need. And yeah, that is it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am going to be uploading a test combo video here pretty soon of this deck, and I hope you guys will stay tuned to watch that. And if you guys really did enjoy this video, feel free to give this video a thumbs up, comment down below what you guys may want to see next, because I have a lot planned for the channel, obviously, and I'm planning to do maybe more deck profiles like this or anything else in general. And if you really do enjoy my content, feel free to subscribe to the channel to see what I have in store, and feel free to turn on that notification bell so that you guys are notified each time I upload videos. And that's gonna be it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and this is Standard 45 signing out.